I know this pretty sea girl, I wish you could've seen her. I know she got some problems, but I don't wanna leave her. And every time I see her, she makes me get this feeling. It feels just like I'm dreaming, gets me higher than the ceiling. I know this pretty sea.
Hello, this is Nina, and welcome to first episode, the Insanity's Rise podcast. Today, we will be talking about Legend of Zelda. We'll be talking about how it really affected, just video game history as a whole, while I do my makeup. So, first starting with The Legend of Zelda, I'd say that was a very good game. I think it really just kind of set the standard for most adventure games. It was just really good. And also set the standard for Legend of Zelda games going forward. I will say, though, it was stupid difficult because old Nintendo games are the most difficult Nintendo games, ever. They're just super difficult. Mainly because, they have a bunch of hidden secrets and stuff because, whenever the video games were made, obviously there wasn't a whole lot you can do other than maybe, play the video games. I don't know, you could throw rocks at a wall or something. So, all people really had to do was just, I guess you could say, just farm on those games until they could find all the secrets and beat it. I myself was not able to. I couldn't even get far without a walkthrough. But it's a very good video game. Now, I'd say where they tried to switch things up is with the Adventure of Link. Now, the Adventure of Link is a different story. Now, I actually heavily dislike the Adventure of Link. Most people do, although I do sympathize with people who say that they like the Adventure of Link because, it is very original, but I think they were just trying to stray away from their typical format, and I think that was a mistake because most people didn't like it. But as a company, they, I guess, were trying to take a risk, and I respect that. Now, the next game, which actually is one of my favorite Legend of Zelda games, Link to the Past, because the graphics, even though it's still 8-bit, it has significantly more better, and the storyline is just more coherent. They're more kind of obvious with their hints as what they want you to do. Hey, put that bomb on that wall. How do you know there's a little crack on the wall? Just easy things like that. And I just think that it was a really good game. It got really difficult, so I wasn't able to beat it. But it's still a really good game. And then another game, let me see. Ocarina of Time, all-time favorite, and I was able to beat it. Cause it wasn't 8-bit. It was 3D, specifically on the Nintendo 3DS. But it's just it's a beautiful game, even though specifically referencing to after they updated it, because before Link had a triangle face. But referring to the newer version, it is just so beautiful, and you can really just see what they were going for, even though it's not the best quality. It's just really good, and I really love that one because the characters had more depth to them. You have to hear more about Link's storyline. And this is also where it branches off into the other games in the series. So Majora's Mask and then Twilight Princess. Now I haven't played Twilight Princess, but I've heard it's absolutely wonderful, beautiful game. And as for Majora's Mask, I think it was really good. I feel like it was just really stressful because you are timed. Because the moon will hit you and kill everybody in 3 days. Not fun. So, you are actually timed, though. You get, maybe, I think it's an hour and a half, maybe 30 minutes, I don't remember. 45 minutes? I forgot. But you'd think that'd be enough time, but in a Zelda dungeon? So I think they just needed to, I don't know. I feel like they should have just given people more time. I know it, it kind of adds to the anxious feeling, so it does definitely add an ambiance. but it's still very stressful, Majora's Mask. Now, on to, let's see, Skyward Sword. Adorable. Like, it's just an adorable game. Like, and also the adding of the motion controls, quit. I feel like it was really creative, although I feel like they should have added where like you can like for left-handed people to be able to use the sword, especially because Link is left-handed. Like, it's canon, he's left-handed. That's my one critique I have about that, is that it is canon that Link is left-handed, and yet they didn't even add an option for like left-handed people if they need to like hold the sword. And it's like, that's literally Link's people. What are you doing? And then after that, they kind of, I guess, forgot that he was left-handed, and that's where we get on to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, which, frankly, disappointment. Before that, I want to briefly go over Minish Cap. There's not much to go over Minish Cap. Another 8-bit game, adorable. I really like the characters. It's just really creative, I guess. It's just really creative. I need to, where's my highlighter? There it is. But back on to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Breath of the Wild, kaput, garbage, no, ugly, ugh. Well, not ugly. It was very beautiful, but like, hold on, I gotta get that wall. But, I feel like they just completely forgot the game, like Legend of Zelda, because there was no dungeons in Legend of Zelda. It was the stupid little shrines. How are you gonna have a Legend of Zelda game and no shrines? That's stupid. That's ignorant. That's dumb. And like, don't get me wrong, I didn't mind the shrines, but it was like, where's the dungeons? And it ruined it because the graphics were beautiful. It was beautiful. But it also aggravated me because, like, the moblins and bokoblins in, like, Ocarina of Time, they only take, like, maybe 2 or 3 hits. In Breath of the Wild, they storm you, man. They, like, it takes all your health just to fight one. That shouldn't be how it is, because it's supposed to be a weak enemy. And you just spend most of your time fighting those, the stupid little enemies. That's useless. That's where we get on to Tears of the Kingdom, which is what Breath of the Wild should have been. Now, I will like to argue that they should have included the Triforce in Tears of the Kingdom, because that's what Legend of Zelda is. But they did add back the, I'm going to put this white in like the corner of my eyes, just touch it up. They did add back the dungeons, which I sincerely appreciate, because it's like, what's Legend of Zelda without the dungeons? Literally, one of the main websites for like walkthroughs is called Zelda Dungeon. It's dungeons. Stupid. They also kind of made it easier to fight smaller enemies, so you don't spend all your time doing that. And I just think it's really beautiful. And also, like, the quests are a lot more interesting. And it's just a lot more fun. Anyway, so Tears of the Kingdom is the most recent game. I doubt that will be the last game. They love milking games. And unfortunately, one day, maybe Legend of Zelda will be milked, but I'm not sure, because I do really love the series. And I really love Link. It's just great. And I'm glad that they didn't change it to where he starts talking. You might think, well, Nina, you love Link. Why wouldn't you want him to talk? Because he never talks. He never talks. Okay? And I like keeping it somewhat on the original storyline. But, like, you know, so, like, things like that, we gotta keep it the same. But anyway, that was today's episode. The Good, the Bad, and the Sword That Seals the Darkness. Thank you for joining me. This episode was a lot longer than it should have been, but that's okay. And have a blessed day.